Hello, everyone, and welcome to week 4 of your Hamilton Nuggets. This week, Hamilton gets to take on the Montreal Royals in Montreal. Here are your featured players of the game. And now let's go down to the coin toss. As Montreal coming out in their all gold unis. As Hamilton is currently 3 for 3. That's 4 for 4 now for Hamilton, with the coin toss on receive for the first half. Now then, I can guarantee that this week we will have twice the commentary as last week. One less chess game, very tragically. As here we go, kickoff is among us here in Montreal. Now then, prepare for the game as Nick Navarro to take it. And he's going to go to about the 17-yard line. Now then, since last game, there has been major changes coming to your Hamilton Nuggets, all of which we will see throughout the game here, as the first change is here. Tom Cotton is our new starting running back, converted defensive back. Don't worry. Ben Bones, the legend, the Bone Miser, is the fullback now. And also he plays inside linebacker with Joe Jacobs. Nikola Jokic drops back, and he's going to find Travis Jones all the way down to the midfield, and it's going to be called back because of holding on C. Hess. Again, with the penalties always coming at the worst possible time, it's going to be a pitch play to Tom Cotton, and it's going to bring up a 3rd and 7. Tom Cotton trying to do something with the run game, knowing that as of now, nothing has ever been established here in Hamilton for the run game. As now 3rd and 7 from their own 20 here. Hamilton got to throw it. It's going to be caught. Connolly. And that's going to bring up a first down, Hamilton. Here we go. First down from roughly their own 38. It's going to be a handoff to Cotton, and he's going to pick up about 3 yards. So a decent thing here. 2nd and 7 now for him, and it's going to be a false start on Denning. Wait. It's going to back us up 5 and make it a 2nd and 12 now. All right. 3 receivers bunched up at top. Lone receiver down. Nikola Jokic is going to sling one, and he will be incomplete. He had the receiver, too. The defender overran him. Just couldn't get it in. Anyway, now, odd formation here. Anyway, we got it. Throws in. It's going to be Connolly wide open down the sideline. He's going to be tripped up and tackled. What a beautiful play by Connolly. Already making a huge difference here on his new spot of the Hamilton Nuggets playing. Wide receiver, I believe he is number 4. Maybe even as low as 5. Nikola Jokic going to throw it over the middle, and it's nearly intercepted, bobbled around, and dropped. So that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 here inside the Montreal 30. Now, do remember that Hamilton is arguably the worst team in the league when it comes to red zones, as Nikola Jokic is going to find Connolly over the middle for a gain of 7 to bring us down to the 20. 3rd and 3 here now. Statistically, Hamilton is about to run it, but there's a new running back, so we're going to pass it, and it's going to be to Tom Cotton, the running back. And it's going to be caught inside the 10 all the way down to 6. First and goal, Hamilton. So you know what? We got the play wrong, but we got the player right. We'll take it. Same, better, if not best result. Tom Cotton up the middle. Loss of 1 here for Hamilton. As it's going to bring up a second and goal here. And basically in this situation, it's a touchdown or bust. As right here, it should be a pass play, slants, or fade routes here. And it's going to be Edwards, the tight end. Touchdown, Hamilton! As they strike first with 1:33 left in this first quarter. As now, Casey Jett comes out for the point after. Alshon Edwards, his first reception of the game is a touchdown. Now, here we go. It's good. 7-0 Hamilton. As there's your drive recap. Pretty good, if I do say so myself, which I do. I'm alone in the studio. As now, Montreal gets to come out and play on offense. Now then, the big deal about Montreal as a team as a whole was their defense, only allowing 24 points despite being, I believe, 1-2, which is pretty impressive when you think about it. 24 points through 3 games, 2 of them being losses. That is kind of a hard feat, as he's going to take it out to not even the 20. It's going to be dropped at the 16. First and 10. And also, I'd like to make an announcement. I did mistakenly mess up the quarterback for the Carolina Tigers last week. I will say that we got a faulty roster/depth chart, as Norwood this week is going to pass it to Wilder for a gain of 5. But back to this, I will admit that we did have a faulty depth chart and roster when we looked at it. The quarterback, we did not have the starter in the starting position, and that's what really threw me off. So I'm sorry, as that's going to be a big sack here to bring up a 3rd down at the 20. But anyway, we are hoping that it will not happen again, because that was not the best things that could have happened, but it's also not the worst thing that could happen. That was the only mistake we had, was the quarterback. So, pretty good. But anyway, once again, dearly sorry to all you Carolina Tigers fans out there that watched the Hamilton broadcast, because you're from our region. We deeply apologize for messing up your beloved quarterback and accidentally getting him mixed up with another guy on the team. We are deeply sorry, and if we ever do play them again, we will have a proper thing for that. So anyway, back to the game. It's the end of the first quarter. As the stats, you can't really compare them. Montreal has yet to have a complete drive, but they are driving pretty well after one faulty play by a defender on a sideline, and then a penalty, which they've already overcome. Norwood is going to throw it out, and it's going to be a first down, but barely. But it was a second down, which it just would have made it 3rd and inches. So they probably would have got it anyway, so not going to complain about that call. Anyway, here we go. Only 3 rushing, and it's going to be a penalty, as he's going to find Linden inside the red zone. And it's going to be pass interference on Hamilton. Not sure about that one. Did not see anything, but then again, I'm also blind and in a skybox trying to just watch the broadcast. Anyway, Norwood is going to rush it up the middle after sensing the pressure from both sides for a gain of 5 to bring it down to the Hamilton 15-yard line as Norwood's going to keep it himself, and it's going to be a penalty. And it's going to be holding on Montreal. And that's going to back them up down to the 25 for a 2nd and 15 here. However, they're still in field goal range, so they can still get points out of this drive. As Norwood is going to be scrambling and is going to be taken down at the 30 to bring up a big 3rd and 20 here. As Damian Burden with the tackle. I believe he is also another one that got shifted because of his speed. Was moved up from, as there's going to be a penalty here, and it's going to be pass interference on Hamilton. And instead of a 4th down for a field goal, that's going to bring up a 1st down for Montreal here. And now Hunter is going to get pushed for a 1st down here, 1st and goal at the 5 instead of like a 50-yard field goal here. A terrible mistake here by Hamilton, as that's going to be a false start. So backing them up by 5 here. But it's only out to the 10 now. 1st and goal here. Wide 5, and it's going to be over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Hunter, and it's going to be touchdown. And just like that, Montreal is about ready to tie things up here. Midway through the 2nd quarter here. There's the point after try by Montreal here, and the kick is good. Tied ball game here in Montreal. There's the drive. And now take us back to the field for the kickoff. Back to Hamilton, as we can see whether or not they can actually pull something off here. There's 3 minutes left, all 3 timeouts. Surely someone is going to score here. We just don't know which team. As the kickoff, and it's going to be over to Nick Navarro, who is going to take it over the 25 to the Hamilton 27. So already a really good drive, starting at the Hamilton 27, the best yard line you could have. As now Nikola Jokic is going to hand it off to Cotton, and it's going to bring it up to the 30 for a gain of 3 here, as the clock ticks down to just under 3 minutes here left in the 2nd quarter. And we got 3 receivers, and it's going to be another handoff to Cotton, and he's going to lose one, tackled in the backfield. Actually does a flip too. And now it's 3rd and 8 here, as we got to see if Hamilton can get anything done. And it's going to be a handoff, and it's going to fumble. And luckily Cotton is going to pick it up there, and he's actually going to get up and run with it for a gain of 2. So questionable clock management by Hamilton here. Instead of trying to score, they take exactly 1 minute off the clock and punt it away. And all of a sudden, Montreal has the ball at midfield, and it's a tight ball game. So Hamilton apparently isn't too good with clock management. Apparently we're an overtime team, as that one's going to just bounce off the back of the helmet of the wide receiver. Never saw it coming. As that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 here, minute 44. Maybe Hamilton is just always trying to set up really good trick plays, like trick shots. As Norwood is going to be looking, throws it to the sideline. It's going to be caught, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 6 with a minute 30 to go. Clock still runs. Minute 20 now. As maybe Hamilton is just like, we're going to give you guys a chance here. It's right before halftime, we still got plenty of time. Let's just give them a chance, see what they can do. And you know what? If they don't like it, we can come back at the end in the second half, as that's going to be holding on Montreal. But we're actually going to decline it because they came up just short on 3rd down, and now it's 4th and 1, and they're punting it. As we're going to probably have to check the surrender index on that one. Over midfield, it's a 4th and 1. Very little time left in the second quarter. Tied ball game. That might be maybe as high as maybe the 20s due to the time and also where the ball is. Anyway, we're going to run it again, and it looks like Hamilton just really doesn't care about scoring here. Maybe it's fear of throwing an interception, or that's a false start on Diane again. Very badly. Anyway. 2nd and 12 now with 33 seconds left. As Nikola Joljic's going to take it himself, and he's going to run it up for about 9 yards here as the clock still continues to run. There's now 15 seconds left. Neither team has used a single timeout this half. And now we're going to be calling an audible here. I don't know if we're going to be able to get a playoff here. 4, 3. This is the last play. He's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. 1 second left, and it's a 4th and 3 here. Final play of the half, no matter what way you look at it, and we're punting. All right, and that will do it for the half as they call for a fair catch. Seven all going into halftime here for your Hamilton Nuggets. As of right now, that Montreal defense has really showed up here. Halting us to just 3 first downs, 7 points, less than 100 yards. As now we get to kick it off to them because why not? We don't need adequate coaching here. As the kick will go pretty far, and he's going to be tackled at about the Montreal 17. Special teams defensively is one of Hamilton's better sides, but special teams offensively just can't ever get a good show going, despite having Nick Navarro, and that's going to be Stone. He's going to be taking it. Oh, that was scary. He's going to take it all the way for a first down, but that had the potential to be a touchdown if he would have got more to the outside at the end of that. Anyway, now 1st and 10 now for Montreal. They're coming out striking here. They want to win. They saw what Hamilton was doing at the end of that second quarter. He's going to evade a tackler. He's going to break off another one, and he's going to be taken down. But after getting up a first down here from Montreal at or around midfield, Darnell Norwood. As they have a new first down here. Norwood is going to go off the tackler, and he's going to still somehow gain 4 yards there up the middle. Definitely a scrambling quarterback, which is something Nikola Joljic just isn't, despite the fact he has multiple 10-yard runs. Norwood. He's going to throw it, and it's going to be incomplete. That's going to bring up a 3rd and 6. And now right here, could be a pivotal point in the game. They convert here. They still continue this drive and possibly take the lead for the game, as they're just going to run it here with their secondary running back, for 2 yards, and that's going to be a 4th and 4 here. Now this one might be in the low teens, like an 11.77. Then surrender index, as that's Nick Navarro taking it to 20. as a fair catch is called. Now, we're going to probably have to be going over all these punts with the surrender index in the post-game show. Oh, because we don't have real-time analytics now. As Nikola Jokic is going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be caught by Travis Jones here. 2nd and 3 now after a Travis Jones reception. Travis Jones, wide receiver number 1, who I projected to be our Michael Thomas, one of the best ones, our best player, always just running some short route, and that's going to be Terrell Cotton for the first down. But anyway, I projected Travis Jones to be arguably our best wide receiver, just running some short routes and then breaking free and getting like massive gains every play, but he's barely done anything. He has like 7 receptions through all 4 games. Through 4 games, he's averaging like 2 receptions a game at this point. It's not very good. As 2nd and 7, he's going to throw it over the middle, and it's going to be Nick Navarro. Wide receiver, I believe 5 or 6. We converted him to that because of how little action he was receiving as being the special team specialist and also number 1 defensive back. And that's going to be Terrell Cotton out in the backfield for a first down. Anyway, Nick Navarro has set a new land speed record for a human, as that's Ben Bones getting a rush in, but he just ran, as of I believe October 25th, 2020, he ran a 5.38 mile stretch, which we'll talk later in the post-game show, in 16:08. For all you that do not have a phone or calculator at home, that is 3-minute miles consistently over 5.38 miles. That is 5 3-minute miles consecutively plus a 0.38 at a 3-minute mile pace, which is incredible. And now, oh my stars, we're punting it. That is a horrifying thing, and that is going to break volumes, hopefully, on the surrender index. As that's like a 15-yard punt there. As Stone is going to take it out to the outside, and it's going to be a gain of 6, and they're already back to where we pretty much punted. That is absolutely horrible coaching. You got to go for it there. Even though it's the 3rd quarter, you got to go for it there. Or at least try to coffin corner them. A touchback. That's just horrible. As Stone is actually going to be taken down near the line. 3rd and 3 now. As here we go. This could be the game as we whittle down the 3rd quarter to the end. And it's going to be over the middle, and it's going to be incomplete. Battled around by, I believe, Ben Bones. Actually, excuse me, the jersey number was not it, so I believe it might have been Thule or Joe Jacobs there as they punt. And that punt, oh dear, it's not very good, as it's going to make it to the 50-yard line just barely, as they punted as that's going to do it for the 3rd quarter here. As really good defense here in this game, which was what it was projected to be as we came in to play Montreal here. But anyway, that punt went about like 12 yards as he's going to find Connolly for a first down. Connolly, converted defensive back. He is doing amazing here for this Hamilton offense, as now Terrell Cotton is going to take it up for 2, as Cotton has pretty much reestablished a decent run game here that is still just horrible, but at least it's there. Ben Bones is going to have a questionable ball spot there. I don't know. should be at around the 30 or maybe even 29, depending on how far he reached. But that's questionable for a 3rd and 5 at this time. At this point, that's questionable. Nikola Jokic is going to throw it. He's going to have a man. Connolly, the converted defensive back, is going to come up big again. And Sally will step out of bounds, but that's a touchdown if he's able to tiptoe down the sideline. Instead, he just focuses on keeping his feet in bounds before her momentum pushes him out. I'm just thankful he was able to catch that. As now 2nd and goal now in the Montreal 8. This is where Hamilton can put the game away. Touchdown, extra point, 7-point game. Keep what you're doing on defense. As that's going to be a pitch to Tom Cotton, and he's just going to stop running there, trying to juke them out. And that's going to be a questionable spot once again, as it's only a gain of 1. I personally would have put him at closer to the 6th and 7, but 3rd and goal here for Hamilton, as Nikola Jokic dropping back. He's going to find a man, and it's going to be Connolly! Connolly with a touchdown! Coming up big today, as this is Connolly's game. Jeff Connolly, the converted defensive back, number 22, is having a day today in Montreal, as the extra point is good, and that's going to be 14-7. Your Hamilton Nuggets in the lead, as Jeff Connolly absolutely clutch in that drive, and just in the game overall. Jeff Connolly, player of the game? I think so. As now we get to kick it off to Montreal with 3:12 left in the game, up by 7. Hopefully we'll be able to pull this one off and keep the win. Here is the kickoff, and it's going to be a return from about the 3, and they're going to not even gank it to the 20, and now it's down at the Montreal 18 here. 3:07 left. Got to go 82 yards and an extra point to tie. Once again, Jeff Connolly, just amazing here. As bunch formation here, and it's going to be a toss to Stone, and it's going to be taken down. Only a gain of 1 as the clock whittles down to just below 3 minutes. Got to go 81 yards now, and you only have, and it's going to be Norwood up the middle, and he's going to pick up a gain of 4 here, 3rd and 5. As 2:30 left, Joe Jacobs with the tackle, his 5th one of the day. Is Joe Jacobs, despite never really being mentioned, has actually done something, and here's a penalty. Oh, and it's going to be pass interference on Hamilton. Once again, Montreal getting bailed out here. As Norwood is going to throw it over the middle, it's going to be incomplete. The wide receiver got behind the linebackers, and he might have been gone if he had the speed. But now 2nd and 10, they got to go 67 yards in 2 minutes now, and an extra point. 5 wide here, as Norwood is going to throw it, and it's going to be caught by Hunter at the sideline. Only a gain of 4, though, as that will stop the clock as he runs out of bounds. Now you only have to go 63 yards and an extra point. However, you have to get 6 of those in 2 plays. There's a penalty on the play, incomplete, and the penalty is going to be holding on Montreal. And now then, Montreal will have to punt here questionably, as Hamilton declines, and that's very questionable, as that pretty much does it for the game. As 2 minutes left, Montreal, as though they have all 3 timeouts, I don't think they'll ever see the ball again, as Terrell Cotton picks up 2 there, as that's going to bring the clock down below 2 minutes, and Montreal uses their timeout finally. They got 2 left. A first down here ends it, pretty much. Minute 54 left in the game. Hamilton is going to commit a false start here, and it's going to be Pearson. So that's going to back them up, but that will hurt them, as it's going to be a run up the middle by Cotton, and that's going to bring up a 3rd and 8 here, as Montreal is going to use up their second timeout here. Now, a minute 45 remains in the entire game. It's going to be tossed to Cotton. Cotton is not going to know what to do in the backfield, as he's going to go down for a loss of 1 here, as him not really knowing what he's doing there might have cost the game for Hamilton, but we'll have to see here, as the kick is going to be down to the 40. So now minute 22 remains. Montreal has no timeouts, and they have to go 60 yards. Minute 8 left. Bunch formation. I'm guessing that there's a receiver bottom of the screen that's off the screen, as he's going to throw it away, and it's going to be Mickey catching it the same way he did on that other 3rd down, as it's going to be converted defensive back McKee. 2nd and 3. Montreal's got to go 53 yards here. Norwood is going to heave one, and it's going to be underthrown. Underthrown. The receiver wide open. Nothing but daylight between him and the touchdown. His defender was like 5-7 yards away from him, and he underthrows him. You've got to be devastated if you're a Montreal fan, as Norwood. Plenty of time. He's going to heave it, and it's going to be caught by Wilder inside the 21st down, and all of a sudden those timeouts are going to come back to haunt Montreal. 20 seconds left. 1st and 10. You gotta do something to stop the clock here. 15, 14, 13, 12, 11. Time is of the essence here for Hamilton. They got to try to run it out as much as possible. He's not going to take a shot to the end zone, and D'Angelo is going to stay in bounds. And that's going to do it. Oh my goodness, Hamilton wins on a terrible plays by Montreal there. Staying in bounds and not trying to just throw one to the end zone. Oh my goodness, as Hamilton's going to come off with a win, 14-7, as we prepare for the post-game show.
It's 2nd and 3. It's 3rd and 3. The ball is on the 47-yard line. It's 1st and 10. It's the final. Hamilton 14. Montreal 7.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to your post-game show of Hamilton Week 4 matchup between your Hamilton Nuggets and the Montreal Royals. Let's get right into it. But before we do, today we're going to start out with the scores around the league. Now, first off, we had the Cologne Centurions coming in to the Gotham Ghouls, who, if you weren't here last week, were the ones to take over the Bronx Bulldogs' production, and at a not so great time for them, as Centurions would actually beat them 23 to 14. Next up, we had Key West coming to play in the Cadiz Cardinals. Now then, Key West would win 14-8, and now in our next game, we had the Carolina Tigers coming in to face the Atlanta Gators. Atlanta holding them off at home, winning 20-3. And then the big game of the week, we had the West Texas Crusaders against the Ottawa Lumberjacks, both two incredibly good teams, both up there with Hamilton. However, the score would not reflect how their teams were perceived before. Ottawa getting a win 17-0. As now we come to look at the standings, we have the Gotham Ghouls and the Cadiz Cardinals both dead last at 0-4. Meanwhile, Hamilton, Key West, Ottawa, Atlanta, and even the Centurions are all 3-1, all leading the league right now. However, with Hamilton being in Division 1, they are paired up with Ottawa, Montreal, Carolina, and then I believe Cardinals off the top of my head. So a luck of the draw there pretty much for Hamilton, as they only really have to worry about one team beating them off, despite that the top three teams of each division make it to the playoffs. So Hamilton should be fine at making the playoffs. However, in the game, we were talking about how there were 3 punts that we would want to look at. The first one being the 4th-and-1 punt, and at around midfield right before halftime. That only clocked in as 7.47, so we were definitely wrong about that one. Then the one about win made through the third quarter, 4th at the 50. We were also wrong about that one. It was only a 4.1. But interestingly, The one at the end of the third quarter, the 4th and 2 from the 42 with the score tied. With 1:10 remaining in the third quarter, that clocked in at 28.05. So 1 for 3 on the guessing, but still, that is a pretty big one. But anyway, also, we were going to talk about Nick Navarro, the spotlight player of this probably entire team. October 25th, 2020. Him and his best friend Manny, the two that have been married, the two that I support fully, were surrounded by 125 Oklahoma State players. Now then, with the 9 footballs that he had, he decided to make a run for it with his out-of-bounds time. 5.38 miles on pavement. He ran. In that process, he did succeed in making it with and still have out-of-bounds time left, so he was not eliminated. However, in the process, he would set a new record for really the fastest a human has ever traveled by themselves. In that 5.38 miles, he would not run 1 3-minute mile, not 2, but he would run that entire stretch of 5.38 miles at a consistent rate of 20 miles per hour, or roughly a 3-minute mile. He kept a consistent 3-minute mile pace throughout 5.38 miles, and in the end, his time for running the 5.38 miles was only 16:08 or 07. I mistake. It was 16:08 for 5.38 miles, not 5.38 kilometers, 5.38 miles. Absolutely insane, and I give him a round of applause as he has now earned those 9 footballs for San Diego State U. So congratulations to the football team. You really earned them for being such an isolated spot in the Southwest. But anyway, back to Hamilton. Next week, the Nuggets get to face off against the Cologne Centurions. And they're on a roll. They just got to play the Gotham Ghouls and face up against them. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in to this week's regional broadcast of your Hamilton Nuggets. And please stick around because this is going to be a very fun adventure watching this team. We got a bright set of people here. So see you next time.